But, I would love to see Dorinda back. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see Jill Zarin back. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see Kelly Ben Simone back. So there you go. Done.
Obviously there's been some big RHONY news that have been coming out over this past week. And I know people are going to want to know your reaction. So what was your reaction when Andy announced the news?
Well, utter surprise, because I did not see that coming. But, after learning about it, I was really happy about it. I think it's very cool to see a diverse group of women in New York, a different generation. I'm thrilled about them bringing back the OG cast because, you can't fit a square peg into a round hole. I say that because, sometimes you bring new girls on and they don't really fit into your group. Mm-hmm. And I think it feels awkward. So I feel like, an all new cast and the OG cast is like the perfect solution. And I feel like they got that from seeing how well the Ultimate Girls Trip worked and how much, the fans and people loved seeing the OGs from every franchise together. So, life is about, growth. The franchise, I think this is a growing period for the franchise. And you see that with the Ultimate Girls Trips. Now they're doing another one and they're probably going to do another one. Mm-hmm. So, I think that, you have to freshen it up. And I think this is a great way to make it fresh.
Definitely. Did Andy give you a call or a heads up before the news was announced?
Well, we had a scheduled call and then it broke right after. So yeah, I found out literally almost at the same time as you did. Right.
No, and I think you make a good point. It's nice that it's going to be a diverse group of ladies. And do you think that maybe that's why it didn't work last season is because that there was kind of a disconnect? Like not everybody was this core group of friends.
I don't know what it was. I just think that, it was a really difficult time to film. We were filming during a pandemic and Black Lives Matters and an election. It didn't have the same vibe because, we were just so limited in terms of where we could go and, inviting people and, so it just made it that much more difficult to film. And I think, that's straining on the show, as a whole. So.
Right. Have you talked to Ramona and Sonia since the news broke as well? And how are they taking it?
Well, I've spoken to Sonia. Ramona and I have spoken. Mm-hmm. And, we were all kind of surprised by the news. And, but again, I'm happy that our old group is going to be back. So I'm thrilled about that.
So have you had discussions with Andy about doing they're calling it the Legacy Show now. Are you officially on board for that?
Well, listen, if they'll have me back, I'm totally on board because I think it's a lot of fun to be back with all our old friends. So.
There's no Legacy Show without Luann. Let's be honest.
Thank you, darling.
Of course. If you were, casting this Legacy Show, who would you want to be by your side?
Listen, I've already picked out the cast, basically. I don't get to pick the cast, right. Obviously, but I would love to see Dorinda back. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see Jill Zarin back. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see Kelly Ben Simone back. So there you go. Done.
Done. Do you think Jill already got on the phone about it with Andy?
Oh, I'm sure she did.
First one.
If I had to guess, for sure.
You have this Marilyn Monroe NFT project, and you got to kind of be Marilyn Monroe for a day. So tell me all about it.
Well, Ez is a really good friend of mine, and he's photographed me many times. And he called me and he said, would you be interested in doing an NFT? I'm doing a whole Marilyn series. And, I was excited. I thought, I've never been in an NFT, first of all. So it's a first for me. And, I think everybody has a little bit of Marilyn Monroe in them, especially me, as I love to perform. And so, when he asked me, I was thrilled because, like I said, I've never done NFTs before, and I think it's a way of the future. And so I'm super excited. And there's so many great women involved in the project, and I'm very humbled to be a part of it. And so I'm excited and I can't wait. Tomorrow it's coming out. So
yeah, and people can purchase this, and it's for a really good cause too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no. So it must have been, like you said, you kind of channeled Marilyn Monroe, that performance part of her, I'm sure, in a lot of your cabaret as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I know that you are back on stage for the cabaret tour. What can people expect for the new show?
Well, they can expect an all new show. In the past, I've done more of having guests on my show. And so now it's all me. We realized that whenever I had a guest, people would start talking or they'd be on their phone when I left the stage. And so, obviously for traveling and because I'm on tour for cost effectiveness also, I decided to do just a show on my own. And I've got a lot to say. I talk about everything from, Housewives to singing the music that I love and doing more pop songs this time around. Some covers I'm doing. You're gonna see F-bombs on the G with the OGs, which is my new song that came out after Ultimate Girls Trip. And, I do a Q&A with the audience as always. And, it's a lot of video packages. And so it's a really fun show. I think people are really gonna love it. And, it's all new, and I'm going to Canada for the first time, playing those dates, June 2nd and 3rd in Toronto and June 4th in Montreal. So, and then I'll be out in LA, June 23rd to the 26th. So, and I'm starting off in New York, starting April 17th through the 30th. So everybody can check out the dates on CountessLuann.com for tickets. And, it's just great to be back on stage. I did a Christmas show, which was awesome. Sold those out in New York. So I'm excited to be back at 54 Below, the iconic 54 Below.